All right, today I wanted to touch on the idea of struggling with motivation, struggling to get started. Maybe you have a bigger project that you want to work on. You got some bigger goals that you want to be working towards, but you just can't get the motivation to get started. You're struggling to get the ball rolling and to get it started. Maybe you feel overwhelmed, like it's too big or whatever it may be. You're just struggling to get the ball rolling. What do we do in this case where you feel like you're overwhelmed, you don't know where to start? It could be that you want to write a book, you want to start a business, you want to do a new project, you want to transform your health, you want to work on something, you want to take something to the next level. What do you do to begin to start tackling that thing? Now, if you're struggling with the motivation, here's what I would always tell you. Number one, what is the vision? What is the vision? What is the big picture vision of where you are trying to go? Will be the first thing that I would begin to ask you about. Where are you trying to go? What is it that you're trying to do? What is it that you're trying to get done? And then we got to start to think about, what is the one thing that I need to do tomorrow? What is the one thing that I need to do today to get started? What's just one step that I can take? A lot of times it looks too big and we got to start to break it down. What is the one step that I need to do today to get started? And then a lot of times clearing out your conscience. So anything that you know you need to do, you know you need to stop doing, all that to-do list of the stuff you've got piled up, start to clear out some of those things. Those will help to clear out the mental clarity you need to get started, to figure out what is that one step that you need to take to really get the ball rolling and to get started with it. So sometimes we got to clear out our conscience. We got other things that are in the way that we don't feel like we can start until we get those cleared off our plate. So sometimes we got to clear those things out. And then what's the one thing that I need to do today? Now, one thing I will warn you is a lot of people are very busy, but they're not actually moving forward. They're just spinning in circles because they're too busy focusing on things that are just happening over and over day to day. Doing the dishes, doing the laundry, cleaning the house, doing all these little day-to-day things that you need to do, but they get so busy doing these things that they never actually do anything that's moving them forward over the long term. And so this is, if that's you, that you're just busy doing all the day-to-day stuff, but you're never actually visioning and looking forward to the future and saying, what do I need to do tomorrow? What do I need to do today to start moving my life towards that bigger picture vision? A lot of times we can get caught up in the details. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to plan my week, number one, and think about, all right, on my big picture vision, what do I need to get done this week to feel like I'm moving forward towards that bigger picture vision? And then every night before bed, using your imagination to begin to plan your next day. What are all the little things you need to do? The dishes, the laundry, taking the kids to school, all this stuff. What are all the little things you need to do? But then where are you going to plan in that time to do those things that are going to move you to the next level? And what is the one thing you need to do tomorrow? What is the one thing? Break it down. What is the one thing I need to do tomorrow to start moving me in that direction? And those would be a couple things that you do. Now, the other part of this is, I think another big piece of this is that the environment that you're in, the environment that you are planted in, plays a big role in your ability to thrive and begin moving towards this bigger picture vision. So we need to look at what is the environment that you're planting in. You think about any plant, a tomato plant, an apple tree, whatever it is. The soil that thing is planted in makes a difference in how well the plant thrives. And if it wants to grow and produce fruit, it needs to be planted in the right soil. So sometimes you need to plant yourself in the right soil. How could you put yourself into a better environment? How could you put yourself into an environment of people, put yourself into a community of people who are striving to work towards their bigger picture vision? Maybe you want to write a book, and so you get together with other people who are writing books, and you get surrounded by that environment. Or you want to start a business, you start to put yourself in the environment with business people and these types of things. How can you put yourself in that environment? If you want to get healthier, how can you put yourself in an environment of people who are working to be healthier? Because if you're surrounded by people all day long that are trying to pull you the other way, it gets really hard to break away from that and start to move in the other direction. Not to say it can't be done, but it's much harder to do. So think about, how can I plant myself in an environment where I'm going to thrive? So what do we need to do? Number one, look at the big picture vision. Okay? And I need to say, all right, what are the big picture vision? What is the one thing I need to do today, tomorrow? Begin to use your imagination to plan your next day. And sometimes we might have to clear out the conscience to get those things out of the way so that I can really focus and get clear on what I need to do next. Those would be a couple things to do. And then pay attention to the environment that you are planted in. Okay? If you're surrounded by people that are trying to pull you back, you might need to plant yourself in a different environment to be able to really grow and to thrive and to be moving in the direction that you want to be moving in. But I hope that helps. If you want to learn more about some of these things, what I would suggest, the best place to start, you can go to danielfoley.net, and I've got a free program called 40-Day Refresh. You can sign up for the free program there. When you sign up, there's an option to add on some live Zoom calls, some live Zoom group coaching. If you're looking for a different environment, to plant yourself into a different environment where you can begin working with others and surrounding yourself with other people who are trying to move forward as well, that would be a great place to start. The course is free. If you want to add the Zoom training on top of that, there's a paid option to do that as well. But you can go through that course, 40-day refresh, to get you clear on exactly where you're trying to go and begin to develop a plan for moving your life forward.